Welcome, everybody, to the KQ Show, episode 27, Instructional Guide for Your Listening Pleasure. For those new to this show, hi, I'm Kyle. As a young lad, I had what my parents would call the gift of gab. I love conversations, interesting people, and most of all, just having fun. I'll be chatting with entrepreneurs, musicians, color-changing Hot Wheels cars, and Soda Popinski. Episode 27 brings us Talking with Chucky. After an entire day at the golf course and probably way too many beers, I sit down with my good friend Charles Fetherolf. We've always had the most random and hilarious conversations, and frankly, that's exactly what you're going to get for this episode. I really look forward to these episodes. We had a lot of drinks and, I believe, probably a little too much fun. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hopefully not children under 18, welcome back to the KQ Show. Today, I have a special guest. Not special because he has a prescription helmet, but special because he is special. My guest today, he has been married for coming up on 12 years. He's the father of one. He spent a decade on the tennis courts. He's a master debater and a friend of mine for over, I would say, a solid 15 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Chucky Charles Fetherolf.
Hello, hello, hello.
I'm just picturing
no, and first Fetherolf on the show that I know about.
Yeah.
I thought that, you want the biggest ass clown to be on here first, so here I am.
I'm dropping down the list. The next, I got to go to the next ass clown.
I know.
I'm just picturing right now, like, because Allison's a big supporter. She's a listener. And Brad might, know or not. But I feel like once she's listening and she's not knowing, all of a sudden, oh my God, she's going to flip out. She'll be like, fucking Charlie.
No, she's going to be like, who let this asshole out of his cage?
She's going to close her work door. Well, I need a solid 2 hours for this journey.
Oh, don't worry. I can't believe that Jessica even let me out of the house, let alone, come hang out with you for hours, having
it was the
some
podcast.
Beverages, having a little bit of fun.
Yeah. Well, shit. Hey, first off, we got to talk about even before we talk about what we're drinking. I'd like to first off start off. We have been kicking it all day. I did 18 holes at the golf course.
Yeah, we were
I came in fourth place, so pretty fucking good out of all four of us.
Well,
so
I hear 100 is good, and
yeah, I'm telling.
We broke it. We broke 100.
No, I didn't. I did not. My goal was to be under 120, and I was happy about it.
I mean, we broke over 100.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that was the goal.
Yeah. Oh, dude. First,
if I get score,
if I ever get 100, I'm taking the shirt off, like probably decorating my nipples and shit. If I ever get, I've never gotten. I don't think I've ever gotten. I don't think I've gotten. I've gotten under 100 like way back in the day, but it's like a 96. But I've never like in probably. Oh, it's been a decade. I think I've ever cleared under 100.
Don't worry. The guys, when I walked out on the course, they said, that's my guy. And it wasn't because of the clubs. It wasn't because of my attire. I was carrying a giant bag of beer. And I was like, well, that's what I'm here for, gentlemen.
Bingo.
And they were like, well, there's the loser that, we know we can hang out with and have a good time with.
Bingo. I felt so, and I got there, oh my God, I forgot beer. Like you came up with that. I saw you walk and I go, I forgot beer. Because I can't golf without something. Because I try, like, I'm a very competitive person, and I know going into golf that I don't play enough to be good. I know it. Like, mentally, I go in going, hey, Kyle, you're not going to beat people because you're not good, But still, when you hit a great shot, that fucking drive, it'll hit, like, for me, like 220 on the fairway or something. Like, yes! Then you get up there with that 3-wood, and you top that bitch, makes that noise. Boom!
Oh, don't worry. My first drive went about 8 yards.
Well...
Yeah.
It did not go far. But you know what?
It makes you feel good when you get up to that first tee and you just choke it, and the starter guy's sitting there and he's like trying not to laugh. And he's like, "Wow, this guy sucks," and I'm like, yeah. And then I crack open that first beer and that first sip, and I'm like, the fresh air. This is what I came here for.
It's the calming effect. There's nothing better. Like when I get mad, I get sometimes I'm not gonna break anything. I'm just gonna crack it. I start just drinking. I look over at Craig. I'm like chugging half a beer. Craig,
you didn't break anything.
I didn't say you didn't.
The sand wedge might have ended up in the lake, and
Dude, you snapped that. And I bet for that, after you do it, though, there's like a solid, maybe not, there's about 3 to 5 seconds where it feels so good. No. You're just like, yes! No, but then you're like,
I was Bo Jackson, baby. I was like, in your face. Except, it wasn't a giant bat. It was like a, millimeter thick graphite club. But that second of satisfaction.
And it made a loud noise.
Actually, you looked over at me and you just shook your head.
No,
Except you weren't shaking it in disgust. You were shaking it in, I
was like, he's feeling pretty good right now. Well, first, it snapped so loud. Like right away, they go, what was that? I go, I'm pretty sure he snapped a club over his leg. Because I know that sound because I've done that. I know the sound of a graphite iron getting snapped over the old leg.
I'm used to just throwing it right into the cart and snapping it right across the crossbar. But I thought, little Bo Jackson ball breaker.
It's way better. Snap it over your own body and then move on.
Holy
smokes. No, so what we're drinking. So we recently took a trip to, what was it? The Poconos? What was that place?
The Poconos.
I don't know.
I think it was like
Bear Lake, Keith Lake.
Key East? No, yeah. Actually, it was Christie Lake.
Christie Lake.
Up there at old Eric's Lake House.
Yeah.
And, we found out we had something in common. The love of...
Well, alcohol first, then vodka.
Vodka and what do you call that? Baby.
Well, I call
baby
it
love.
Well, it all
baby love. Where'd baby love?
So it all started. I'm glad you asked. It all started with. So when Rhino was our bartender, we used to go there all the time. Like so, there'd be times it was busy, but the times it was dead. So I was like, hey, let's think of a drink. It was a slower time. I was like, I'm trying to think of a drink I want to drink. I didn't want to be the guy. Let me get a cranberry vodka. Oh, just the blah blah. And I was
like Wizzy.
So I'm like, all right, well, let me think. So he's like, what about a flavored vodka? I go, well, okay, but I don't want a cheap vodka. He's like, well, Stoli's good. Stoli is a really good vodka. So I started with Stoli Raz, Stoli Raspberry vodka.
That's what the Russians claim.
Bingo. I liked it. So I was like, all right, I'm in there. And then he goes, and I was like, well, I'm trying to keep it low calorie. Because I had both my collars popped and the backwards upside down visor, and I had to make sure.
You gotta keep it tight,
right? With my camouflage pants on, I had that. Once I went to Rum Runners, those chicks were into me. So I'm like,
were you at Rum Runners though?
I would go 75 cents. We could talk Rum Runners all the time. That's the second time I got pregnant. No, so I'm like, Rhino, I'm also trying to keep the calories low. He's like, got you. We have Diet Sprite. I said to him, I go. No one had a fountain of Diet Sprite. Diet Sprite wasn't a thing, and this was 15 years ago. So he goes, "Let me make you a Stoli Raz and Diet Sprite." I go, "Let's do it."
Yeah.
And I drank that thing, and I was like,
your cherry.
I was like, this is like just babies in love. I don't know what I said, babies in love. I was just thinking two things that were just, I was like, this is two pretty amazing things. I'm in here. And he goes, all right. I go, it's the baby love. I want this. Every time I come in, Rhino.
Baby love was
baby
born.
Love, yeah. And then it got born so much, the fact where they, which I feel pretty proud about this. So I guess kind of a fucked up thing to have on your bucket list, but I'm proud that the backer put a button called Baby Love. Literally, I drank there so much they had a button. Like, you got hot dog, burger, and Kyle's Baby Love.
Well, the crazy part is, I know you've been drinking the Baby Loves forever, and I didn't even know what it was until I started drinking it myself, and Chucky loves the Baby Love.
It's pretty good. It's the Diet Sprite. So what we're doing now, we're doing Tito's, and a big thing I really do, I don't have a sense of smell, so I can't really taste a big difference in vodkas. But I like that.
Yeah, so why the raspberry?
Well, at the time, because it was there, and I was like, cool, that's it. But here with Tito's, I like because they support animal shelters and stuff. Like their money goes to donate. That's cool. I like that.
I always wanted to be charitable while I got wasted.
Yeah, I'm not caring about humans. Let me help the animals. Fuck all them humans. Look, it's your fault.
I was going to go volunteer at the homeless shelter, but then I saw the lovely puppies down at the rescue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also, they don't care that you're drunk on Baby Love.
And I was like, what goes hand in hand? Vodka? Puppies? No? Yeah, I'm wrong.
Well, Vodka Puppies was that. There you go. New fantasy team name. Ooh, you know what? Answer it. Speakerphone. Do it. So Charles, Chucky's wife, Jessica's calling. Speakerphone it.
So the wife is calling here. Hey, babe. How you doing?
Closer. Jess, can you hear us?
Hello?
She pocket dialed you.
I know. It's not connecting.
Oh, you want to hop on the Wi-Fi?
I answered. What the heck?
You might. I don't know if you get a good signal in here or not.
We'll give her a quick ring. Let's see if I can call her back and get her
on
the line here. Hey there.
Hey.
What are you doing? Yeah, she sounded.
Oh, we're
Closer.
We're totally on the cast here. You
You're
want to say hello to all your fans?
Shocker.
Wait, what? We can't hear you, Jess. You're on the podcast. We need you to speak up.
Oh, I'm on the podcast?
Oh, yeah, you are.
You're on the podcast.
Oh, shout out
Shout out.
Who you shouting out? Give your shout-outs.
to Justin and Jamie Henry.
Yeah, you finally got to give them the shout-outs.
Oh,
yeah, I get it.
I got Aunt Lois here, got Max.
Oh, nice.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, Charlie.
Oh, hi, Aunt Lois.
Hey.
You have Max on the
whole
podcast?
crew at my house.
Oh.
Hey, Max, say hi to your fans.
Oh, he's gone. We're playing soccer. Sorry.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, busy. Bye.
Okay, I'll call you back a little bit later. Maybe we can get you on here and give some real shout outs.
Yeah. I'll send you the royalty check.
Okay. Love you guys.
All right, love
Bye.
you. Bye.
That's awesome.
Well, we got Max on there for a split second. That was a miracle. But that's because wait, are we gone?
Oh, wait, you got semen cushions? No, see, I flip the cushions because, look, the zipper in the front of this one, because I find that people's asses sink the back of it.
That's not it for me. I have a 5-year-old who gets crap all over the couch all the time. I have gummy bear cushions. That's what I call them because they're multicolored now. They started out as gray, and now they're, like
covered in honey mustard and some...
No, kind of like stained glass.
Just the smearing.
No, but that's the thing. You give it a flip, and then it's good for a little bit, and then the other side,
makes Corner Antiques Roadshow.
It's like the slowest collage that anyone's ever made. Maxwell George made. Oh yeah.
Everybody's like, I know what episode you're drinking liquor because all I hear is the chingy in the background. I just heard both of them at the same time. Just go, well, all right.
No, it's like Christmas at church when they're ringing the bells.
Christmas at church with vodka. That reminds me of my church.
Well, I'm Catholic.
Well, yeah. Well, see, alcohol, whatever. What?
Are we live here?
Oh, we sure are. We've been live. We are always live.
All right. Very nice. All right. So here's my burning question for you.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Because we're about the same age, and MJ's my man.
Mm-hmm.
For me, the NBA hasn't been exactly the same since MJ left, and I know you've moved on to your boy LeBron. Where'd the love for LeBron come from?
Well, that's a good question. I have on this podcast debated who's my top the NBA.
I know the debate, and
what happens?
I know who the
the
adult love is.
I obviously when I was young enough, I was like a young fat kid who loved basketball, right? But I was always windy. I was fat. I was a fat kid. It happens.
You always say that.
So I was, but I still tried to play as hard as I could. It was just tough because I like titties and stomach and everything else. It was a lot. It was but I got winded real quick. I wasn't always. I didn't try out for soccer. Okay, that was not my sport.
Don't worry. I played soccer from first to fourth grade, and I'm I'm sick of all this running.
Yeah, but I saw the Fetherolf boys when you were young. You cats were just running lean all the time. Very weird looking.
Well, that's definitely weird. But that's why I like baseball. I mean, what are you got to do? Run 90 feet to a base?
Yeah, and a lot of people pull their hammies running that far. But no. So I was, basketball was basketball. And then when Jordan really got on the scene, it was really early 90s. 92 was when he was that was the first three-peat. And it changed the game of basketball. It changed the game. So I think of it. It changed the whole world. Everybody stopped watching TGI Friday. They were like, oh my God, we're not watching TGI because the Bulls are playing the Pacers.
Watching poetry in motion. And
it was crazy.
You got the worm on the court. He was a complete clown.
It was nuts. It was just
all the characters were there.
Yeah, you couldn't have found a better team. And then when he left for baseball, kind of sad. But then when he came back, I was like, yes. Then when he left, I never. There was a gap. He left. When I say he left, I mean the 96 when his.
No, I hear you.
He played 97, 90. I still watched that.
I played baseball then, so for me, I was like, I get to go see Michael Jordan play baseball.
Yeah.
And then you were like, oh, I saw Michael Jordan play baseball.
And it's crazy. And then when he came, so then when he left, again, I say like 98 was kind of the last of MJ, because then he popped over to the Wizards, did whatever. But then there was that gap where a lot of people jumped onto Kobe, and I just didn't. I didn't jump aboard. I didn't jump aboard the Kobe train.
No Black Mamba for you.
It was just because at the time it was like there was a bunch of stuff going on, like where when he was number 8, he apparently some type of sexual shit with some chick. He paid her off, changed his number, and people just kind of forgot about it. And I was like, man, did that really happen? So a part of me was like, man, like if you, like Jordan didn't have gambling, cool, whatever, you gamble. That's what happened. That was the worst ever. Like Jordan didn't have any.
Gambling and anal. I don't know. How do you chalk
and
that
anal?
up?
Where was that jump? Gambling and anal?
I thought that's what.
Is that what Jordan did?
I thought that's what Kobe was doing.
Oh well, yeah. Again, I don't know. No, I'm saying like Jordan was just gambling. So he was like a figure you could watch, and you could be like, hey man, I can follow this guy. He's,
but if you're making like $1 million a minute and you're gambling like 50 grand, that's gambling?
Exactly.
I feel like
and Jordan did pretty well at gambling too. He took a lot of money.
That's like Featherstone and a scratch-off ticket. I mean, you gotta,
I'm in there.
Apples and apples.
Yeah, but no. So I never really jumped aboard. So then, like, I remember it was probably like 2000. It would have been like my junior or whatever year. Like I remember, all of the Ohio teams were really, really fucking good. Like I think we were in a Gus Macker, and we had a chance to play some of them Ohio teams, but like we got murdered real quick. Like again, I wasn't really good. I liked to play basketball. I was just never really good because I was real short and fast. I would shoot the 3 all the time when I was younger. I learned to play basketball, shooting the three. So I was like 5'7", 270. So it's not like I'm holding down the post, but then I grew real quick. So I went from like, all of a sudden I was like, 6'1", 200, and I'm like, they're going, get under there and rebound. I'm like, I don't know fucking how to. I don't know how to rebound. I've never done this, ever. Is
it weird that, when I heard that name, Gus Macker, back in the day, that I was like, do I get to meet him, or is it just
Gus Macker?
Like a little clown figure on the trophy?
Be. I don't even know what that means. It could be somebody named Gus. I don't really know what the fuck it means. All I know is we lost like second round, and I only had to go there for one day. So, but no. So, and I remember just watching him and his team, and the entire area that he was in was like crazy basketball. And then I started kind of following his team, St. Vincent St. Mary's, and he was, it was like maybe his junior year. And at that point, he was already being watched by ESPN.
Everyone?
Yeah, and I was like, man, that's cool, man. I got excited because I was like, man, it was like the Fighting Irish. That's the team. He was like, St. Vincent St. Mary's Fighting Irish. It was like, oh, Irish. So I was like, at the time, I was like, man, I'm going to really get into this dude. And then I looked up and I was like, well, this dude is already huge. So it wasn't like I was, it's not like I found some diamond in the rough I started following. But then his senior year, I tried to go to his last game. ESPN was there. All the scouts were there. Like out of state tickets were like a G or something crazy. It was so I didn't even get to go to his last game, but I was like, I'm watching the draft. When he got drafted, I'm going to be a Cleveland Cavaliers fan. Like I started watching him, and he did shit that nobody has ever done. And it sucks that he did, in front of the entire world, say, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And I know that's a huge... Oh, no. What is that racist? Or no, it's nothing. It meant nothing. He just said he was going somewhere. And the whole country hated him. And I get that because he said he was going somewhere.
He wanted to win, and they stacked the team.
Yeah, it was a trend.
Can I say that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100% agree. 100% agree. That's the only way you can win.
I'm just checking.
Only way you can win. So look at the last championships. I mean, people that still call Golden State's their winning streak. Yeah, you bought Kevin Durant for a couple years, and you got a couple. I mean, I'm not saying they didn't win without him, but yeah. But regardless, you have to stack your shit nowadays. But anyway, I was happy. I was like, man, this dude. When he came in, he was doing shit. When he scored like 27 points in the fourth quarter against Detroit to make it to the playoffs. This dude, his team. There's no one that's ever played with him for the Cleveland Cavaliers besides Shaq that'll ever be a Hall of Famer. And keep in mind, Shaq was a retired guy. They just kind of threw to LeBron. So LeBron in Cleveland never had any Hall of Famers with him. But he was just a young cat. He was 18 and scoring 27 points against the Detroit Pistons, who had an all-star lineup. They at one point in the all-star game, they started all of the Detroit Pistons because their team was so good. Yeah. As a funny little... But dude, literally, he was out there balling against these cats. Like, these dudes, like, it was bananas. It was absolutely insane to watch somebody that young and had. Now, again, he didn't look that young. He looked 40 when he was 18. He looks 60 now.
Think about it like this. The players in college, high school, can get paid now?
Well, college
imagine
can.
What they
college get paid.
Well, I mean, not that it's not under the table, but imagine what LeBron would have been paid when they were recruiting LeBron back in the day. It would be insane. They'd be like, well, we gave Michael Jordan a Ferrari when we signed him at Nike, but, what do you think about a fleet? Or maybe we'll just buy the company for you.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy is that, like, now his son is going to USC, and the NIL.
That's what I mean.
Yep. And why wouldn't? But it does make sense. Why? Like, if you're a college athlete, like, you're playing college. Like, if you're so good that you could make it in the pros, but you're forced to play in college. So you could risk injury in college before you make it pro. But they're forcing you to at least play 1 year. Then you better pay somebody.
What do you mean? They're giving them like a $50,000 education when you can. I mean, how many?
So all of those.
I'm kidding.
I was about to say, because first off, because if you're there for a year, you don't get a degree. Even though we're going to pay for your one temporarily year of school, we're forcing you to play a year. No, then, and also at the same time, like, you get as a college, a sport, you get to make money off of this player's name.
That's what I'm saying.
And put him into video games. It makes sense. I like the NIL. I think that you should at college be paid.
I think that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. But how do you quantify each player? Right now, it's just a free-for-all. Like, whoever has the money that can get their grubby hands on the player.
Depends on the player. Same thing. Same thing as everything else. Top 10 players. Guess what? Top 10 players get the top 10 money. That's how it works.
Yeah,
so, and again, it'll come back to bite some schools, but check it out. Every college has money flowing out of their ass. We talked about college debt earlier. Yeah. There's no reason that in 10 years it cost $1,000 maybe to go to maybe it cost $3,000 to go to Purdue for a semester, and then all of a sudden a decade later it's now $12,000. Like, there's no reason for colleges making.
We want to go into that, like, No, I'm just saying. Taxpayers pay for the universities?
Now we're on the right track. We're not. I'm just saying, there's so much with college that's fucked up, and it's not just from somebody that's, went to college for 8 years. It was tough because I kept quitting.
Don't worry.
It is. It's one of those things. Like, if you force somebody, like, if you're so good, look, like Tracy McGrady, Kobe Bryant, LeBron, they all got to jump into the NBA just straight up from high school. You should be allowed to. Why force somebody to go to a college for a year?
There's nothing there's nothing I can argue with there.
But the original question, that's what got me in there. And now my newest debacle is LeBron is getting to his end of his career. He's got maybe 2 or 3. So who's next?
Who's the next flavor of the month?
And this Wembanyama kid, he's like 7'1". He plays like everybody else. He's not sparking my interest that much. I want that diamond in the rough. Some kid, some fucking dude like fucking Duke Willingham from some little small, that kid out there, some dude from somewhere.
Like Chucky Cheesington?
Chucky Cheesington, yep. He's from West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground. No, but like I want that. I kind of want to just find somebody that's becoming good that wasn't supposed to be or something. Like that.
The old diamond in the rough.
I mean, the only positive is the fact that I have been collecting LeBron.
I'm pretty sure that Aladdin played basketball. Wasn't not the diamond in the rough.
No, but he
got into the Cave of Wonders.
Well, hey, you know what? Hey, a lot of NBA players can't say that.
Well,
I mean, that's
every man that tries to get into the Cave of Wonders.
I think that's what they called Kim Kardashian, most NFL players.
Wait, that's the nickname for Kim's butt?
Chloe's the NBA's version. Everybody's been into that cave of destiny, or whatever you call it. Hey, that's a plastic cave of wonders.
Holy shit. I feel like we went down a random strayed path here, and where are we going? Which Disney movie are we going next?
What's your favorite Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie? That's a good question.
Well, let's keep it animated. Like our youth animated, because there's a lot of Disney movies you can be like, oh well, think about it animated wise. I had to think about mine too.
What Disney animated movie could I not live without?
I really like Emperor's New Groove. Like, that's when I'm sick. When I have like a sick day, I watch that or Hook. Those two movies are so medicinal for me. Like, very, it reminds me of like being a young kid.
I'm trying to think of my favorite Disney movie, and I think we should actually take a break there so I can think of my favorite Disney movie.
Nope, we're going to sit here and we're going to witch you fucking stew in it.
Oh, God damn.
Do you think it's Aladdin? I mean, no pressure now that
you got me back on the spot again. No, it might be Aladdin.
Aladdin's great. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Aladdin's phenomenal. I mean, like, it had to do, the songs were great. I mean, I can show you the world. Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is what
does
it for me. And Carpet.
Yeah.
I think Carpet.
Yeah. Okay. I agree. Hey, for those that don't agree, please phone in. It's 1-800-What'sYourFavoriteDisneyMovie.com. Call in. Leave a voicemail.
No. Disney movie. Wait, Space Jam movie, a Disney movie? Or is...
Oh, it's Warner Brothers.
That is Warner Brothers.
I watched.
Did you watch the one with LeBron?
No, you had another question? You know what was crazier is that Don Cheadle, who is one of the best actors I've ever seen, he's so phenomenal. He agreed to play that role, and he's such a good actor that he did such a good job that I'm like, you want to just grab him and just take him out of the movie.
Wait, Cheadle played what role?
He was the coach of the bad team. Because again, I've watched this
in the original or the remake.
No, the remake. No, the Space Jam 2.
See, I haven't seen the remake.
Yeah, only funny part I did like is there in the beginning, like the Looney Tunes, like, we need him, bring him, we need him, and then all of a sudden, like, it goes dark and you see like the silhouette of Michael Jordan, and then the light turns on and it's Michael B. Jordan, which Creed. Yeah. So I thought
it wasn't Hair Jordan.
No, you just see him. They go, "That's Michael B. Jordan." Like, I thought that part was pretty funny. That made me laugh. He goes, "What am I doing here?" Like that was pretty funny. And then nothing else about the movie was good.
No.
Space Jam, dude, gives me goosies. Like, gives you goosebumps at the beginning when you have to shoot in the basketball. And then all of a sudden, the seal music comes in.
I only bring up Space Jam because when we were kids, we'd play basketball, on the court at our house, basically at Craig's court, and we'd have dunk contests. And in the dunk contests, Craig didn't want to be Air Jordan. Craig wanted to be Bugs Bunny and Hair Jordan, and he would be like, "Hair Jordan going up for a dunk," and we'd be like, "All right, no."
Was it so? Was that when Bugs went like dunk style? He called himself Hair Jordan.
He called himself Hair Jordan.
Okay, I remember that.
Hare. The real thing you have to ask is, who decided that, hey, I got the script. You know who'd be great for the script? Well, we could get Bill Murray.
Yeah, no.
We could get Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Who went to Michael Jordan first, goes, got an idea. Check it out. Bugs Bunny brought this to me. I know he's been out of the game for a minute, but he's been writing. He's got a great idea. And they go to Jordan. He's like, what do I got to do here? He's like, Bill Murray's on.
Yeah,
Bill Murray and
who else? Well, we got Babs Bunny. We got I don't know, Daffy Duck. You don't want to be in a movie with Daffy Duck?
Tasmanian Devil helped us spit shine the whole gym. Remember? Yeah, you spit shine. He spun around.
Holy Lord!
It was all in there. That was all time. That's like one of those movies, like when you're a kid, like you can't explain to kids now how important movies were because that's all you had. Remember, like all you had was this is a movie. There was no, no online anything. You just like this is the coolest thing ever. Like if you want to be entertained, you put a VHS tape in, skip past the,
And anyone that's listening to this is going to be like, did I just turn on a podcast where they're just going to talk about Space Jam the whole time? How much Space Jam content do these guys have?
I think we could probably fill another hour or so if you want. I mean, we could talk, and then we could roll into Die Hard and Lethal Weapon. We could just talk about straight 80s, 90s movies for the next 2 hours.
I would.
Normally the 13 listeners, 6 or 7 drop off pretty quick, but I think we can hold on to those last 7.
Yeah, I think there's a bunch of people out there with a Space Jam fetish that just found the place.
Yes! Somebody talking about Space Jam. Just flying like an eagle through their living room.
Well, I didn't have anything else to do on my Saturday night, but I got these clowns, and they keep going on and on.
I haven't heard R. Kelly since the trial.
Dude, they haven't even brought up Marvin the Martian yet.
He was a pretty integral part, though. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It was funny about Space Jam too. It was like, all right, so Space Jam 1, the Monstars took talent from good players.
I love how you remember that they're called the Monstars.
First off, again, I do watch Space Jam, a lot. I've named my fantasy teams the Monstars. Every time I was in sales, we were always the Monstars. All the time, the Monstars. What sucks is the Monstars at the end end up losing, but I still call my team the Monstars.
Well, no, it's like the Nationals or whoever the Globetrotters play. Like, they're there, and you're there for show.
The Fort Wayne Tin Cups.
And the thing is, sometimes you're watching the Globetrotters is it the Generals? I think it's the Generals. Mm-hmm. The Generals take the lead, and you're like, oh my God. Are the Globetrotters going to lose?
And then
they take like 8 half-court shots and make every one of them, and you're like, all right.
I've never been to
I totally shouldn't have taken the Generals at 1,000 to 1 tonight.
I was about to say, you take me over under. Every week they go. They're like, sir, they always lose. Listen, the Globetrotters, they're set up to win.
They're due.
Here's the script. Here's the script, sir. It says right here at the end they're going to shoot these half-court shots. No. Double or nothing.
Imagine if you were at the Globetrotters game and at the end the Generals finally win one.
Hey, some dude just accidentally throws it into 3 and they just lose.
Would you be like...
Would they shut down the Globetrotters?
No, he means to miss, but then the ball goes in. And the crowd is just stunned, and you sit back, and you're like...
You'll be on 30 for 30, the guy that beat the Globetrotters. Oh, 30 for 30. I knew going in, I had a feeling. It was 10,000 to 1. But the Generals, they got a shooter. I like to cash in my ticket.
By the way, have you ever thought of this? Like, who puts... They're all basketball players, right? Who has to be the bums on the Generals? Like you have the Generals, they're probably just as good at basketball as the Globetrotters, but they just have to be,
They got to be the heels. They got to be the heels.
That's what I mean. Like,
it's like WWE.
Like, how scorned do you think?
And they're so good at being a heel too. Where'd the ball go? Like.
Well, I mean, how scorned are they every night when they go back to the locker room and they're like, we had to tank again. They said they were going to promote me to the Globetrotters team. I'm sick of wearing these ugly green jerseys.
Tired of losing them. That was the day the guy in the back goes, we're done losing. I'm going to shoot the last shot. Jeffrey, no!
No, at like the end of the game, in the NBA game, when the scores like run up, and then the other team grabs the ball and like dunks it, even though they're totally going to lose the game, but that somehow beats the spread. And then then every TikTok video the next day is just all about the spread and how the degenerates.
Dude, the one with the kneeling, the worst when I've lost the most money. I'm not an avid gambler on all things, but I'm big.
I almost believe you.
I'm big into NFL because I watch it, I study it, I think that I know it, so it makes me feel like more of a educated gambler. If you
sounds like a degenerate to me.
Well, no, I can't. I just need to win, or else
don't worry.
I'm gonna cut myself.
I call it how I see it, and
No, so I made this.
I'm like the man in the mirror,
like Michael Jackson.
No, like I'm the degenerate that thinks
win,
but
a
bazillion dollars.
I'm not spending money I don't have. I threw $10 on every week. I do a dollar parlay where I do I'm talking like you bet if I win, I'm the guy that you see on TV. Guy bets $1 in Indiana and wins $100,000. I make outlandish things, but I had 1 week where I go, you know what? All fucking underdogs are winning this week. I called it underdogs. The Jets beat somebody big. It was a week that all the fucking underdogs won, right? But it was the last game. I didn't guess.
So the Lions won a game?
Shout
out to Mayhew on
the
that
last game, it was Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus Carolina, who just sent out McCaffrey's gone, their quarterback's gone, Baker Mayfield's starting. I picked all underdogs except for that game.
No collusion on that one.
I picked underdogs except for that game, and guess what? Carolina fucking beat Tampa. I put 5. I think I would have won like $25,000. So that's That's when I started selling heroin.
That's the
just to make up for what I lost.
Like, have you ever played DraftKings?
I
play the Sunday Millionaire, and I end up with a check. I was like, you can just send me one of those big checks in the mail, except mine's for like $8.79 because I tied for 1,797,000th place, and that's what I ended up with. And I'm like, well, at least I got this big check. And Jessica's like,
wait, you did get a big check?
Yeah,
they really sent you a big. Hold on, they sent you a big check for $8.
Yeah, they sent me one in the mail.
I need to see that check
because
I would hang it on the wall.
I opened up the envelope and it was divorce papers. I was like, "Whoa, DraftKings, take it easy."
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I try. I'm sorry.
Oh shit.
No.
All right, so I got a question for you, Chucky. Who's your favorite Marvel character, hands down?
Marvel character.
Yeah, be Marvel. Actually, what character would you want to be?
Who would I want?
Yeah,
to be?
I say that because
I could do good for the world.
No. Just
or
your
it
everyday
makes me
life.
That cool or something.
Whatever
like that.
your everyday life. Understand, like your everyday life. If if you're the Goblin guy, or if you're like Toad Man, that's what you look like. So you have to.
I have to be the Toad Man?
No, you could be whoever you want. But understand, if you're a guy that's a weird looking person.
What does the Toad Man even do?
I don't know. I think he did the tongue, right? He was in the one where he's. Oh yeah.
How is that a superpower?
I don't know.
I got all the flies out of your house, lady. Yeah. We're good.
But I think a toad would do better because they're smaller. He was just a human big toad. I think he might be able to slap you with the tongue, but I don't think it would.
I know, but
he's not
how do you
whooping
choose?
ass.
Well, I want to be Thor.
Just know that you're gonna look like that all day. So if you're like, hey, I want to look like, if you're like, hey, I'm Juggernaut, you're a gigantic monster all day. So that's your job.
I'm Juggernaut? Like that's.
Well, no, whoever you want to be. I'm just saying, pick a character that you could be.
I feel like you keep going with villains.
Well, you could be, a beast. Like you don't want to walk around all blue all day. Although, couldn't he transition?
I don't know.
Some movies he was flip flopping, but just if you had to be somebody, you had to look like that all the time.
See, I feel like the beast thing. He goes from I'm the smartest scientist on the planet to I'm a meathead.
That's also the Incredible Hulk. Same exact journey between those two. Those two could be.
Well, but what about like an Endgame when Ruffalo turns in? I'm the green guy and the smart guy. Like I got the best of both worlds.
Yeah, but
that in the comic books?
Here's what was in the comic books. When he was being a bitch and they had to transport him somewhere else because he couldn't turn into the Hulk, which would have stopped the entire war. If he would have just become the Hulk, killed the bad guys, Thor would have been like, all right, never mind. Now, I understand that.
I know. So does that mean he's not really that much of a hero because he has to, be in the mood to be a hero?
Well, yeah, you can't be a moody hero. Like, if you're like, hey, if you had, like, Iron Man, hey, fly, and he just can't, nah, I'm not in the mood, I'm not doing it. And he had to stand there, and he wasn't flying, he'd be dead right away. Like, they saved Banner's life, because, remember, what's his name, Wang or Chung, that does the...
Wang Chung?
That does sound a bit racist, but isn't his name, he's one of the Doctor Strange's cats.
I know you're
I think it's Wang.
I think it's Wang.
Okay, cool. Because I felt a little racist when you looked at me, and so I was like, wait, am I just saying Chinese names now? But he goes, and he just leaves, right? And it's like, he could have become the Hulk, plop, plop, killed both those things, threw them away. I don't know.
All right, well, let's get back to your question. So you asked,
I forgot my question.
Asked me an original question here.
See, I told you got to keep.
No, the question, you're like, what superhero would you be from the Marvel Universe?
Get in there.
And, I mean, who would most people say? Thor, because now I'm the sexy god of thunder that every woman wants. I mean, Jessica only goes to see the Thor movies with me to see Hemsworth. Like, she's not there for anything else. What? Actually, she was like, I wonder when Russell Crowe's going to take off his shirt. No, that didn't work out.
Yeah, he kept his shirt on in that one. Yeah, he was ripped in Gladiator, but then glad he ate something. He was a very large human in that one. He was.
Well, I've had plenty of time to think about this, and I don't know. Maybe Captain America?
It'd be kind of cool.
Because he has that I'm low key, but I'm awesome.
But don't you have to live for like a real long time? Or what's the stat? Because I don't know the numbers, but he
eventually goes back in time and marries, the old lady.
But if he didn't, though, like let's say if you take his power, because you're taking his superpower. You're you now for, I don't know how long he stays that way, his age. He
that's
eventually ages.
That's the
but
thing.
like,
they don't really tell you. He's like, well, I didn't age a day at all from 1940 to the end of Endgame, but then I went back to 1940 and I aged like a normal person.
Yeah,
was anyone like, what? Why? Like,
probably a lot. That's you could go to Reddit for most of those answers.
No, did he go back to like the time of Jesus and then
but
lived and then he met his wife in 1945?
Yeah.
He was like, I have all this wisdom. And it's all in the New Testament.
You think you think even now? Well, remember he was a skinny cat, and then he got big. But what I'm saying is,
a skinny cat.
Because he talks when he was he's real based on the movies. I guess I don't know that much about the comics because maybe the comics answer all the. I bet your brother's gonna listen to this going, you guys.
Yeah, I know he's gonna be like,
you guys are dumb. Shut
I've got
up.
some
First
cliff notes for you guys so you can
Spider-Man becomes
and
American and then he becomes Iron Man, so it's Iron Spider Captain.
Yeah,
you guys don't even know they got Wolverine claws.
Yeah, you didn't even know that Wolverine was in Endgame. He totally cut that gauntlet off his hand quick.
He cut it. Spider-Man grabbed it. I used to love Wolverine. You know what I used to love about Wolverine is because that's all that was on TV. Remember when you come home, the X-Men TV show? They were always fighting the Juggernauts, the Sentinels. Yes. Yes. When it came on Disney had that and Spider-Man. I used to come home, watch both those episodes, and I mean, I'd watch Power Rangers for sure when I was younger.
Oh my, okay.
Dude, the original Triple OG.
Hey, put your
Power
Zordon
Rangers.
away.
Dude, Goldar.
What do you mean? The bad guys were called putties.
I know.
They just ran around. Like,
but dude, and then
they were like, well, stormtroopers were kind of weak. How do we like beat that? Putties.
They would just kick them in the chest and they would explode and fall. I was like, they should protect their chest better. I was like, that's all you got to do, bad guys. I can help you fix your problem. Just wear something thicker or just teach them how to just do this. Everybody had that sidekick.
By the way, does the war ever end if no one ever gets hurt or dies or anything?
No, because they get hit, they explode. Every time you get hit in the Power Ranger world, your chest explodes and you land on your back. But then you get back up into your ninja pose, and then you're fighting again. But yeah. Kimberly was my favorite, the Pink Ranger. I think every dude.
Yeah. No, let's just say this.
Luckily, I heard the clinks again.
Oh,
I got too close to.
Cheers.
Every time I'm trying to sip, it just goes. You can see the little marks. No, so I got a question, Chucky. So I've been watching shout out to Justin Hembreeze. He talked about this show. And I've been watching for a minute. It's called Alone. So I don't know if you see these cats. So you're out in the middle of nowhere, stranded out there.
I've seen a little bit of that.
So check it. Do you think there's any situation, like what's your survival instincts? Like any experience? Like would you be able to be
nothing? Like a hotel room, maybe?
Yeah,
we can set up a little campfire made out of sticks in the hotel room.
In the hotel room.
Ask my wife. Trust me, she's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's.
No, so start from scratch. Could you make like a fire on your own, or would you know how to make a? Okay.
I was a Boy Scout. I can make a fire,
Okay. You made it through the Weeblos?
Well, did they blow?
Well, no, you're talking about the Christian church. But regardless. Welcome to the KQ show.
All right.
Man, I got that weird you get that like Diet Sprite phlegm in your throat a little bit. It's the only about Diet Pop I do get. So I'm not a soda guy. You a soda guy?
No, not a soda guy.
You call it pop or you call it soda?
I'm from Indiana. It's pop.
Yeah, it is. It's always been. By the way, Craig Zion is in the building, and he doesn't want us to know he's here.
No,
it's too late, Craig.
Talk crap about
he's cocked all the way back, cocky as hell, in my comfortable chair with his feet kicked up, with sandals that should have been gotten rid of years ago. They're bald.
Ugh.
These are fucking brand new.
Yeah, you got your receipt?
Hey, let's get to the point of case here. Why do you want to see the Barbie movie?
It was a fucking joke.
No, look, Craig's been talking about the Barbie movie
joke.
all
He
day.
was 100% serious.
He's like, Ryan Gosling is an amazing actor, and I think that he's putting in really good work here.
Well, I always wanted to see him blonde. Yeah. So where did the love of Barbie come from?
Mine was probably porn.
Barbie porn?
Well, I'm not saying like I looked for it.
Dude, he tells me about all different types of porn.
Craig is a single guy. He doesn't look up porn.
No, I'm not going to say that.
Well, see, now you're too far off. No, Craig, you can't be part of our conversations
Craig
because
said,
nobody can.
Craig
I
has
can't
said
hear
it
what
before.
you're saying,
Craig's
Craig.
like,
You have no microphone.
Hey, Chucky, the best site you got to go to is www. Write this down. www.
No, we're gonna say you're here. We just have to, your vocals have lost.
Go there.
I'll take a mic and
Yes.
right here on my fucking
Also, our sponsor, PornTube.
No. It's xnxx.com.
Oh.
Are you happy? Are you alone? Do you want to find singles near you? Press play. I'm gonna tag 6 people that do that. But no, I was surprised that some people don't like. They don't like the new thing that happened a couple years ago when like people getting stuck in shit in porn, like stuck in dryer, stuck in stove, all that. Like I'd bring that joke up.
Thing?
Yeah, it was like it's been years, but I'd bring that joke up and people wouldn't know. I'd be like,
that
I
win
feel
like
stupid.
an award for newest theme
Maybe
at the porn awards.
What was the awards? Were stuck in oven, stove, cabinet, underneath the bed, or neighbor's garage.
Oh, the best one is window. How did you get stuck in the window? Oh, the window fell down on me, and my ass was just right up in the air.
Only way to get me out was to go ahead and anal plug me.
Yeah, I heard anal plugging lifts windows.
Loosens the joints. We're clean. I still watched all the videos.
Holy gross. Well, this is
Jangle. All right, so if you had to watch one movie, like sports movie, like actually just what's your favorite sports movie? It can't be Space Jam. We talked about it for too long.
favorite sports
Yeah,
movie.
and why?
And why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen Angels of the Outfield?
Hell yeah, I have. I haven't
It
seen.
has
I haven't
Danny
seen
Glover
the.
in it, and they just run down the list. They're like, "Well, Danny Glover just got done doing Predator 2.
He might be available.
Do you think we can pick him up for this gem?" And Disney's like, "Sign him up." Ridiculous allergy.
I know that you just get stuffed up. It's like I can't breathe in there. You know what? Hold on. Did you see there was no Amazon packages on the porch, was there? Motorcycles. Ladies and gentlemen, motorcycles.
Yep.
Brought to you by West Broadway. Dude, the worst is when it's aggressive when I'll leave the front door open in the summer just to get a little breeze flowing in as I'm taking a little nap on the couch, and they drive by for some reason just yang right by my house, it wakes me up so aggressively.
I've always wanted to drive a motorcycle really loud and fast down a private street just to piss everybody off.
No, you're not divorced yet.
Well, after this podcast, we'll see.
Well,
Just kidding, Jess. I love you. All right. No, actually, this seems like a good time to take a break because I got to take a leak.
a damn dog out there.
Was that a werewolf?
I'm not aware of a werewolf. That's just...
Welcome back to the Kyle Quick Show.
You're damn right. So, Charles, I have got a couple of questions for you. Sorry, radio voice comes out.
Oh.
So, I know that you're
Can't wait for this next round of Brain Busters.
Answer number 2 coming in. All right, Charles, you ready? We're going to hit you with some random questions. First off, what's the best pizza topping?
The best pizza topping?
Mm-hmm.
Sausage?
Okay.
Sausage, man?
Now, what do you mean? Because there's a lot of different ways to do it. You want ground sausage? You want like the cut up? What do you want? If you're ordering pizza and you're like, that's the sausage that I want.
You know, like a nice thick chunk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Name a place. Is there a place that does it well?
Don't give me that crumble. Don't give me that crumbled sausage.
I agree with the crumble. Because the crumble means like, are you really giving me enough?
No, I'm equal opportunity topping. Like, I can't just pick one. I want all the toppings on the pizza.
All right, but if you had to have, like, what's your favorite? Your favorite?
That's what I mean.
The sauce.
I want the combination of a bunch of everything on there. I don't want just one topping.
No.
Are you a one topping man?
Oh, no, I can do a lot. But if I had to have, like, my favorite topping, I got to go with pepperoni. Like, in the smaller ones that when it heats up, it curls up to the top. Like, it makes a little yeah. Yeah, but also, like, the second I would say is, honestly, is bacon if they do it right. I don't want bacon crumbles, like where it's really like Bacos. Don't give me Bacos. I have Bacos. Everybody has Bacos. Bacon bits where you can
thick
just
pieces of bacon on your pizza.
I like the not too thick where it's like don't. I still want it to look like a pizza, you know. So give me like a little chunks. I want bacon chunks, bacon chunks, and pepperoni.
That's the thing.
Done.
Is there a topping that you won't eat? Because for me, I worked in many pizza places back in the day. My first job was at Pizza Hut. You know, I moved my way up, started on the phones, moved up to the prep table, baby.
Ooh.
Oh, the creme de la creme. I could cut the pizzas up and put them in the box. And, it was Pizza Hut, so, if a customer made you mad, I'm not saying you did anything gross or anything like that, but, you can take all the grease, pour it on the top, give them a little extra garlic flavoring. I'm not wanting to do anything nasty to the pizza.
You drug their pizza across the floor, didn't you?
Well, you could take that garlic spray that they put on the crust and spray it on your shoes, and literally you could see if you could coast across the entire, tile floor in the kitchen to see how far you could go.
See, that seems like something fun I'll do.
I mean, that's what we used to do back in the day.
Hey. We used to race pallet jacks at the Circus City. You get on the front of it, just kick it. And
but I was 15 at Pizza Hut, and the closest person in age was probably like 28, and they were pretty much stoned the entire shift. And I was like, just get out of my way. I'll cut the pizza. I'll put it in the box. You know what? I'm 15. I'll get in the car. I'll make the delivery for you. You stoners can stay in the back, and I'll just get shit done.
So you said you worked at pizza places. You worked at more than one?
Multiple. Papa John's in college.
What was your best? Which place out of all the places had the best pizza, though?
None of them.
None of them? None of them you worked at?
None of them that I worked at. I worked at Pizza Magia, the magical pizza place down in West Lafayette, Indiana. I'm sure that's still in business. I'd come back from deliveries, and the manager would be upstairs, doing bong rips, and I'd be like, anyone got my next delivery ready? And I got this myself. I'll just do it myself.
Pizza Magia.
Oh, Pizza Magia. Let's see. Anything else?
That's the first I really consider. I'd look up Pizza Magia, Craig. See if that's a place.
Yeah, is that still in business?
It's Pizza Magia. He's laying in my chair with my blanket on him by my AC.
I'm pretty sure someone lost their life savings along the line.
I just want to see pizza. How do you spell it?
Hey, I made a lot of money.
Was it Magia like M-A-G-I-A?
I was going to retire, but then I decided to start a Pizza Magia.
Where was this at again?
Purdue.
So West Lafayette?
West Lafayette.
Was it Magia like M-A-G-I-A?
Oh, yeah. I'd be delivering pizzas all night. I get stopped over in the alcohol checkpoint like 18 times. I'm like, I got the thing on my car. It says Magia.
Look, I'm part of the magic pizza.
Let me go. I've got pizzas to deliver. And they're like, well, you're going to have to step out of the car, sir. And I'm like, don't worry about these vodka bottles. They're nothing. You don't see the Magia sign? No.
It gets me through the day, sir. I'm 15.
I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding. But literally, they'd pull me through the police checkpoint so many times, they'd be like, they wouldn't even look at me. They'd just wave me through. And I'd be like, I know it's a random checkpoint.
But you're like,
but can you just let the people that are working through and not all the drunk guys that got to go to the game and not deliver pizzas for Pizza Magia all day?
Listen, this is magic pizza, sir. You're going to ruin our majesticness if you don't let me through this border.
No, I'd get back to the pizza shop and, I can smell the weed flowing through the bottom of the bathroom door, and I'd be like, can I have something? They're like, get back to delivering pizzas, bitch.
Magic. Boom. They disappear.
Muncie, Anderson, Indianapolis.
Wow.
College towns.
Still in business.
College towns, yep. They're.
Cincinnati.
I guarantee the one in West Lafayette is totally out of business.
Mismanaged, you think? Because the manager back there hitting bong rips instead of focusing on the.
I'm not gonna lie though, delivering pizzas, you just get to listen to music, drive around in your car. It was perfect.
Why don't you just fucking
I found Craig's new profession.
Why don't you just Uber, Craig? You like to drive. You're good at it.
Yeah, you could be like the Uber.
I can't hear what you're saying.
Do they have an Uber?
I can't hear what you're saying.
An Uber Extra Deluxe where they pick you up in like a $80,000 Audi?
I had the Uber X one time, but not the XL. No, the Uber. We were supposed to get an X.
What's the premium?
No, the regular.
What's the premium?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know what that was. I was supposed to get a regular one, but they didn't have it. So somebody picked me up in an expensive car one time. It was like a Jaguar or something, but it was like maybe a 4-door. Might have been a Maserati, Craig. Maserati.
Was that like one of the snobbiest Uber drivers you ever had?
No, he was foreign. He was cool. He was just a regular ass dude. He's just like, yeah. I was like, do you get? I tried to ask him questions about it. He was on the phone. He had that Bluetooth in.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I don't really want to talk to you. I was like, yes, because I'm not really a talker. I don't want to talk in Uber. I just get in, like, dude, just take me over. I don't want to, like, if I'm drunk, I'll have a good conversation.
Don't you feel obligated to talk in
No,
Uber?
I don't think you do.
I do. I'm like, well, this guy's had a long day. He needs some good conversation.
No, half the cats are always on their phone or something. So I'm like, I'll just let him do his thing.
No.
But yeah, no, like there's one lady I had that I was going to Linebacker. From my house, I Ubered, and she's driving. She was strung out. But she had like a great, I think it was like F-150 Harley edition, awesome looking truck, newer.
That's your Uber driver?
Yeah. So I was like, all right, okay, cool, whatever. So she's going up Twickenham, and she forgets about all of the stop signs. She goes through the first one, and I'm like, okay, maybe she didn't see it. I go, whoa, you just missed that stop sign back there. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. She
just had a death wish?
Dude, she was strung out, like probably meth or something like that. Second stop sign on Corby coming up.
What are you trying to say, that Uber drivers aren't drug tested?
Maybe. So she pulls up on Corby, and I'm like, that's a busy road. I'm like, man, I'm hanging on. I'm like, oh, man, I hate you. Stop sign. I say this to her like a bunch of times. She finally stops, like at the last fucking second, right? And then she goes through, and this is like, it's kind of like when Uber had just came out, right? And like there's the star reviews, maybe they're still important or not, but like that was like what kept you a job, you know what I mean? So if you got a bad review, so she pulls up to back her, and she pulls up so close, she hits the wall at Soccer Zone or whatever. She pulls like hits the thing. She pulls in the corner. I'm like, whoa, like aggressively. I was like,
I hope you ran.
Dude, I got out so fast. She's like, I hope you give me a 5-star review. It's very important. I was like, yeah. I got out and gave her a 1. That's the only bad review I ever got. She almost went through 2 stop signs.
You want to hear something terrible?
Yes.
Am I allowed to admit this?
Absolutely.
I've never rated an Uber driver.
Yeah.
It always asks me, and I'm like, I don't have time for this rating.
As long as you tip them.
They've never wooed me enough to, I don't give them a bad one.
Yeah, as long as you're not giving them in a bad way, yeah.
I just don't put anything. I'm like, well, the food came to the door, and they didn't ring the doorbell that time. Because I didn't want to wake up, the dog.
I've thought about being an Uber driver, but I just don't want to. That's what it comes down to. I just don't want to. There's some hacks.
Let me ask you this.
Shoot.
Because I've thought about it. Would it be degrading if you were an Uber driver?
No, hell no. No, I don't believe that any job would be degrading. I'm at the point in my life where I'll work for anywhere or anybody. I wouldn't think it'd be degrading.
Well, no, I think it'd be like delivering pizzas, except, when I talked to the pizzas, they never talked back.
And that's because you're not really like listening to their feelings.
Well, maybe that was the mushrooms.
That could be, yeah. See, that's why I don't really normally do mushrooms on my pizza, because of that reason. I don't want to be that guy.
You're not a fun guy.
Well, thank you for listening to today's episode.
We finally found the joke on the popsicle stick. Well, and that's all, folks.
Well, thanks for listening in. Craig's cold. I'm half erect again. I don't know why. I think it's these cut off jeans.
You're getting the rubs?
There, I get the downstairs rubbage, bruh.
Well,
they used to call me rubbage in high school.
You gotta stop wearing those skinny jeans.
Dude, I love them, man. I like one ball to go each way.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, we really put that one into a tailspin.
Which was also a great Disney show. Tailspin.
That's true. By the way, I think favorite Disney movie.
Oh, hey,
Beauty
thanks
and the
for coming
Beast.
back from 3 hours ago.
Beauty and the Beast?
Yeah, that's the one you went with.
Yep.
Well, thanks for listening to the show.
Thanks for listening to the show. Chucky likes.
It took 3 hours for him to say
like singing
beauty.
toasters.
With him to say Beauty and the Beast. I like the salt pepper shaker. They were my favorites. I don't think I got it. If I'm honest with you, I was probably so young. I've never watched the Beauty and the Beast like from start to finish since I've been like old enough to know what the movie is.
Hey, no time like the present.
Yeah, no, I'll skip that. But I'll watch Aladdin again.
The magic. I'll be right. Do it, Kyle.
A whole new world.
I knew it. Don't you dare close. We're going to close this show.
You got to get shout-outs, bro. Your shout-outs are due.
Shout-outs?
Yeah, you need a whole list of shout-outs. And if you don't have a whole list, you got to make one up. And you can't say Craig Sandals.
Well, Craig Sandals are pretty terrible.
Craig Sandals needs to be your fantasy team name, Craig. Craig Sandals.
Craig Sandals.
Because it won't make any sense to anybody else.
Hey, runner-up, Craig Sandals.
What was it called? The double pickle poke? What was it? Double smoke pickle poke?
The one cheek pickle snake.
There you go. One cheek pickle snake. That's where there you go.
You know, that's an old married man's only defense.
That seems a bit like rape, but
No.
one cheek pickle snake.
Yeah. Would you like to explain that to us?
Yes, I do. Very much so.
All right, so what is the old one cheek pickle snake?
You're spinning this cheek and
Well, no, we can't hear what you're saying. So yeah,
We
Craig,
can't hear
this
Craig, but
guy with these
Craig
sandals.
apparently says it's when you snuggle up to your loved one, and you just lift that back cheek.
Oh, you lift the one cheek that's not laid,
one
the opposite
cheek,
cheek,
and
and you sneak.
you hope that something might happen.
So you're just over there, you just lift that one flap and get in there. It makes sense. I understand it.
Only if it's reciprocated.
Oh yeah, well if you wake up with that, that Rocky, that diehard morningly jaunt.
Hey, rock.
That's that rollover. You just kind of nuzzle it in there a little bit, like morning.
Oh my God.
Morning. Yeah, that's when my brother got a bunk bed.
oh my
I think after this podcast, I'll have a bunk bed.
God.
So gross.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus. Charles, what you got, bro? You got some shout outs and some stuff? We're 2 hours deep, but 6 hours long.
Well, I'll just say I love my wife. Everybody knows that. My son Max is the world. And just love my family.
Oh yeah.
A nice little family. It's hard to come by. And I have good friends. I'm hanging out with them now.
I don't like you that much.
Well, look at me. Who would? KQ having me on the show here. We've got, Craigie over here who's too comfortable for life, apparently. Featherstone, my old buddy E. KQ, thank you for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure. Love you, man.
It's been 14 hours drinking today. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that Craig brought older sandals to show that I don't necessarily
Oh my God, back with the
I
sandals.
don't necessarily care about money and things. He's humbled himself in this year's. But anyway, thanks for Craig for sneaking in, and then Chucky for being here. We appreciate it. Appreciate the time. Thank you,
Jeez.
everyone, for listening to
It's been a pleasure.
the KQ Show.
KQ Show.
I can show you the world.
And the KQ Show.
Shining, shimmering semen. That's
Back off the bat. Semen.